Good evening, Namaskar. I, Kriti Vadhera, would like to welcome all the learners, educators, teachers, students to CIT NCERT's special live phone-in program, Sahyog session, where we discuss about the mental well-being of our children and adolescents. And today, the topic which we are going to discuss here, it is not just relevant to our students, but to adults, us as well, as in this pandemic time we all are trapped inside our homes from past so many months. Parents are working from home, students are getting online classes at home, so somehow we are lacking in spending this quality time with our family. Yes, today's session is going to revolve around this topic itself, that how we have to spend quality time with our family, and what is the need basically of spending this quality time. So the experts who have joined us today for this discussion, I would like to introduce Professor C.G. Venkatesha Murthy. Namaskar, Professor Murthy, we welcome you to PME Vidya for this discussion.
Thank you very much, Kruti ji. Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting us.
And the practicing counselor who has joined us for this discussion, I would like to introduce Shri Ganesh Murthy ji. Namaskar, Shri Murthy, we welcome you to PME Vidya's Sahyog session.
Namaskar, Kriti ji. Thank you for inviting, and good evening to all the viewers.
And before we start with this discussion, I would like to tell my viewers here that in between this live interaction program, feel free to ask questions to our experts. You can dial on our toll-free numbers. Numbers would be 1800111265 and the other number is 1800112199. You can also send your questions on our live streaming of YouTube on our official YouTube channel NCERT Official. In the live chat box, you can comment and send your questions. We will be taking up your questions in the last minutes of the program. So starting with today's discussion on quality time with family at home, Professor Murthy, I would like to bring you first into the discussion. What is basically meant by spending quality time at home with family? Please elaborate for our viewers.
Thank you, Kruti. Now, don't you agree with me and all the viewers? We keep talking about the fact that we need to spend quality time, quality time, quality time. This has been our watchword. All the time we keep talking about it. Today we are attempting to elaborate this so that we understand the nuances of understanding what it means to spend quality time at home. Now, this quality time is a composition of so many small things in the family, being very transparent, and in fact, the important dimensions that we would like to share here include the following. Number one is sharing the time and different resources with involvement and will. This is, to me, is a very important thing. Sharing the time that we have with us is a very important thing. Whenever it is possible, we all should be able to spend time together, maybe during our breakfast time, maybe our lunch time, our dinner time, and our going out time, etc., etc. We all should be able to share together. And all the resources that we have may have gadgets, we may have vehicles, we may have fancy items and materials. As and when it is required by different members of the family, we should be able to share that with everyone, and this should be with our full involvement and willingness to share. Happily we should be able to share, not grumbling. This is something very important. Second is communication gap. Families, we get into a lot of discussions. It is all because of the communication issues. Husband does not understand the wife does not understand husband, children do not understand parents do not understand children. There is so much of communication. We spend so much of our time trying to give justifications to what I meant is this, not that, don't mistake me, and lot of time goes there. If you are transparent, if you can speak only one thing, and if my meaning is understood by the other person, the communication gap gets minimized. That adds to the quality of the ambience of the family. This is possible if we respect every member of the family as equal. Every member has a place, every member has a role, and each one of us is very important. If we understand this and respect this, I think many of our communication problems can be minimized. And all the members should work towards minimizing the burden of other family members. This is another thing. Many a times we think that this is the responsibility of one person in the family, let him or her do. Doesn't matter. हम क्या करें? उसको करना है, उनको करने दो. This will not work. If we can reduce the burden of the other family members by chipping in. Let's say there's a festival and the mother is busy in the kitchen. We should not think that it's only her job and we will all keep quiet. Some of us can chip in and then go help her in cleaning the vegetables, chopping the vegetables. If not anything, at least we can turn on a good music for the mother which is soothing for her, which can reduce her burden, isn't it? And we can, like this, in many situations where as a family we can come together, we can minimize the burden of the other family members. Imagine a small child who is getting ready to go to an examination the next day. There may be several small little things where all of us as members of the family can chip in and help a child to equip himself or herself. It is not just the mother's responsibility or the child's responsibility alone. We can all do some small little things so that the burden, I'm talking of the burden, can be minimized. This is possible if we have a caring attitude for each other. Caring and sharing is very important. If we can care for each other, all these things come very naturally. And if this ambience can be enhanced, the feelings of security will grow. Each one of us must feel secured in our own wonderful family in the first circle. I call it as first circle, second circle, third circle. First circle is a circle where the parents and the children, maybe the grandparents are there in the first circle. Second circle is one where the cousins and others are there. Third circle includes the neighbors and then the friends, like this. The first circle should be always very cohesive. If you are caring for each other, if you can work for the betterment of the other person, at all times, it enhances the feeling of security. Everyone feels secure. And obviously the confidence levels will go up. This is something very important. And when a situation improves in a family, the expectation for a predictable positive support in all activities also automatically increase. So there is a predictability, there is a transparency in the family dynamics, and we all can work, and then we spend time. Whatever we do together. So what is to me very important is sharing success and failure together is very important, and that is what is about spending quality time at home. Meaning, not only successes, even failures, if we can learn to share together. That is the best part of spending quality time at home. I think, Kruti, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible enough. I can hear. Our viewers can hear you easily.
Thank you. So this is something, according to me, is very important. Sharing success, failures, being transparent, being concerned about each other. This is what can happen if you can spend time. This is what is the meaning of spending quality time at home.
Okay. So that is quality time spending with family at home. And now I'll go to Shri Ganesh Murthy ji, our practicing counselor who has joined us. Ganesh Murthy ji, in this pandemic time, I guess many students or must have come across many youngsters who are struggling with this, spending time at home. So, what do you suggest to them? Why is it that necessary to spend quality time at home?
Thank you, Kriti ji. And as Sir has introduced, when you try to know what is the need of a quality spending time, now we need to know about why do we need to spend quality time. Usually, quality family time, it is an essential factor that helps to create a strong bond like love, connection, and it also enhances the relationship among the family members. We give money and things to our family, but did you ever thought what is that our family needs? They primarily need sometimes our time. Why is it all this? Because when we think about spending this quality time, it enhances happiness at home. Today, the world seems to be busy working and socializing that we have forgotten the importance of spending time with the family to develop your family relationship. Everybody seems working more, earning more, and spending more. As elders of family, it is our duty to spend time with family and do justice to our role in a family. The only solution to this is figuring out work life and home life balance. Consciously take time out of the bond to develop the bonding with our families. This is not just important for our own well-being, but also for our family well-being. They are dependent on us as we are on them in terms of both emotional and physical. Especially for children, the time spent with them, is life precious jewel that embed in their memories forever and keeps them happy forever. By spending time with family cautiously will enhance the happiness at home. The next point is it gives a feeling of security and commitment. As Professor Murthy has told, spending time with family develops a feeling in each other that they are in protected cozy family environment. Children need a sense of belonging and security, as they need to feel they have someone at home to whom they can look upon when they are having some difficulties. Spending quality time together ensures that a deep, strong, committed family bonding develops. Next point is it also gives meaning to family life. How does it give a meaning? When we spend time effectively with family members, it develops a comfort for each other and make them feel that they are living in cozy, supportive and caring environment. Children also will know the value of togetherness by spending time with family. They are realize that they have good, healthy environment at the home when being with the members themselves than being with outsiders. It also develops confidence. Once the security and commitment is there between each other, when there is a sense of belongingness improves. Showing loyalty to each member in family, stick up for each other so that each member feels confident with the family's support. It also reduces the dependency on others. When I say dependency, more than the internal, I feel the dependency with the external people will be reduced. As Professor Murthy has mentioned about the 3 rings, the first ring talks about the primary family members, where the grandparents, parents and children. The second ring where it involves the close relatives, friends, well-wishers, and the third ring which involves the members of the community, teachers, neighbors, etc. When the primary family members are loving, caring, supportive, committed, and sharing with each other, the dependency for all these on others gets reduced and a strong family bond is developed. Also, it even reduces the tensions and frictions. When the cozy family is noticed, internally there are no tensions and frictions. Though tensions and frictions may be coming up from the external environment, which also will be reduced when the family is cozy and supportive to each other. The confidence in them is develops in between the people. And whenever there is a difficult situation by the kids, they try to see that, yes, I have my family members back of me to support. It also enhances the physical and mental health. Children grow physically and mentally together. The elders are more concerned about the physical and mental well-being of the family members. Like the father provides economical and physical support, mother provides the emotional support by giving love and care. So, spending time together is enhanced in family environment, automatically the physical and mental health will enhance. Last but not the least, it also improves the quality of communication between each other. When more time, especially behavior exhibited with each other itself becomes the quality of communication. Communication need not be a verbal way, it could be non-verbal way of communication. So sometimes when your child does something, appreciating, right, say, wow, superb. And also a non-verbal way of communicating is tapping them on their shoulder, saying shabash, brushing their hair, okay, just putting hands on their head and a slight hug to them. This all gives an informal way but a healthy way of communicating. So parents, usually we understand the situation of kids by mere seeing them and respond accordingly. Thus, the communication increases and the quality increases when it is being done in the family. So these are the some reasons why we need to spend quality time at home.
Right, absolutely. And if I go to Professor Murthy again, I would like to bring you into the discussion. So please throw some light on the challenges we can face in spending this quality time with family.
I know. Kriti, this is something one can go on listing many obstacles. But then for the sake of our discussion with the children and then the parents, we thought of listing a few things. Number one is the over dependence on outsiders. It is always a third person beyond my first circle of the family who interferes in many of my things, and I start depending more on them as though he is more intelligent than the internal people. And this over dependence on outsiders is something which can interfere, and all the family members may not appreciate every time that somebody is coming and interfering. It may not be comfortable for everybody. So we should know that the final quality is with the first ring people. We should be able to protect that, and our privacy is something very important. We can consult 1,000 people on many things, but the final decision must be ours. So it is the third person's interference which comes as an obstacle in spending the quality time. The privacy gets lost. Second is the doubting and suspecting. As a part of the different people who come from different places, the wife comes from some family and the husband is from a different family. They are brought up in a different environment, and they have a tendency. Some people have a tendency to doubt and suspect everything. Husband doubts and suspects the wife, and wife suspects and doubts the husband, and then the parents doubt the children and their integrity. And now there is no transparency. As I come back to the same thing, transparency in the relationship is something very important. If there is something doubting and suspecting tendencies, or some family members become very selfish and they also believe that दूसरों को वो बेवकूफ बना सकते हैं by being very clever. इस तरह का जो attitude जो हो जाते हैं, this can also interfere and serve as an obstacle which may interfere in spending quality time. That means I want everybody to help me, but I will not go to help anybody. It doesn't work. ऐसे थोड़ी होता है. But then when this kind of an equation builds in a family, it interferes in spending quality time. And then taken for granted attitudes. There are certain relationships in the family, they are taken for granted. It may be something like your role stereotypes. Mother has to do only these kinds of things, father has to do only these kinds of things, a boy has to do only these kinds of things, a girl has to do only these kinds of things. These stereotypes and taken for granted attitudes also will come in the way. And you have to be open and transparent. Time and again I am saying that. If you are not willing for that, I am afraid we may not be able to spend quality time with our family members. And all these problems that I listed is because of the faulty upbringing, the faulty socialization and upbringing. The way, the adults have grown, from their childhood, if they come under the clutches of the wrong socializing elements, it leads to faulty upbringing, and all these vagaries of behavior gets into that, and they start putting trouble to the family ambience. And another most important thing which is bothering all of us these days all the more is the gadget dependency. Look at every family. There is one family, there is more than one television. There are 5 members in the family, there are 6 mobiles. Each one is busy in their own mobiles, and everyone is busy in their own social media. The television is showing something, a common program, but each one of us is busy in our own mobiles and we are interacting, and hardly it gives us any scope for interaction. Can we take a vow? Can we take a decision that when we are together, we will keep the mobiles in the switch off mode? We will not take, even if they have calls. Can we do that? At least during our breakfast time, our lunch time, our dinner time, our television time, or when we go out, can we minimize? There are frictions many a times for this only. See, when you come out, you will keep on talking to somebody over telephone. People, family members may not like all these things. So these are all different obstacles which interfere in the spending of the quality time. Kruti, did I make sense?
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. I agree to what you're saying.
That's right. Thank you. And I'm sure my friend Ganesh Murthy also agrees with all these things.
Yes, sir.
And we can proceed further.
Absolutely. So I would ask Ganesh ji only, Ganesh Murthy ji. We have understood the challenges and how to spend time. Finally, I will be coming to how this time should be spent at home. Please elaborate for our viewers.
Thank you, Kriti ji. Yes, after knowing what, why, and the challenges of spending quality time, we need to know, basically every parent or the child wants to know how could we spend quality time at home. Between work and life responsibilities these days, the time passes with a blink of an eye. The same thing happens with our children's growth also. It is very important so that we spend time with our family members, nurturing our children's growth. The important point here is spending quality of time than the quantity of time. That is what is most beneficial to children and what can have a positive effect on them as they grow. So children imitate usually by observing what their role models. When we say children, the role models, most of them will be the parents themselves. So spending time with them will help them learn so much. But how? How could we do that? One thing is by being cohesive at home. So what do we mean by cohesive? By being attached, by being together, by being connected, united. So what all we can do? It could be not a big things, it could be small things like having a morning routine together to the extent possible. Like wake up together, fold the blankets together, having coffee, tea, milk together, wishing each other, doing the dishes and arranging certain some things in the house. And also involving them in your daily activities like yoga, gardening, music, etc. And also take time to go to nature. Okay, like you can go for a weekends with a hike with your family members and spend time in the nature. And one major thing is happy meal time together. This is one way of being cohesive. Coming to the next point, having a clear communication amongst family members without miscommunication. See to that all family members stick on to the decorum, the communication terms, so that they don't feel any bias, that somebody is showing bias in terms of communication to some members of the family and all. So just try to talk out. How could we do that as a better way? Talk out the day ahead. What is it happening? How you are planning your day? So communicating through encouraging words, being tolerant to them, praising them when needed, accepting as what they are, approving, being honest. This would develop a lot of good behavior in children, like being confident, patient, appreciation to each other, loving, self-esteem gets increased, and they learn to be truthfulness. Like make sure that no other activities are scheduled during the family time. So what does that mean? Family time is just for family. Keep away other activities aside and spend time with them. It's like dedicated time just for you and your children. Creating a schedule for your family can be a way to regain, even in a small way, that makes children feel very happy and energized, saying, yes, it's family schedule, it's our time. For that, we need to do some planning and implementing few activities to do together at home. What could be? This will provide an opportunity for children to look forward to that time and also enjoy it when it is happening. What can we do that for that? So storytelling, the parents or elders can be telling or reading the story for the children, or even they can listen to the children's what they're telling, and doing some activities together like puzzles, and have some quiz time for all the family members, and playing board games. There are a lot of board games available these days when they are bored, when the kids are bored. And instead of giving gadgets, let the gadgets be aside. As Mr. Professor Murthy also mentioned, the gadgets is not required. Schedule time for doing an activity of your child's choice.
Right.
Right? And then turn off the technology when spending time with children. Try not to text, answer calls, scrolling through the social media or watching television. Keep it all aside. So if you remember parents, when we were kids, our parents were not getting exposed to the technology. So why is that now when we want to spend quality time with our kids? Also share responsibilities, doing chores together.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Cleaning house, vehicles, pets together,
Right.
cooking family favorite dish together, fixing things together, dropping and picking up of kids from the school.
Right, absolutely. Right.
Right.
I guess our viewers must have gained a lot out of today's discussion. It was really a worthy discussion for all of us. I thank both the guests for joining us today for this interactive discussion. Thank you, Professor Murthy, and thank you, Sri Ganeshji, for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And viewers, remain connected because next we will be discussing Nishtha's module 16 for you. Stay tuned. We are coming back just in a short while. Thank you.